I have to help Jonathan run the tournament, so because I don't know what Keitaro is doing. But I will definitely be back.
All right, I'll see you in a bit.
I will find you a co-commentator.
All right, it looks like we're going to be hopping into this pretty soon. And it looks like we got Doom on his way back over to the mic. Oh, my apologies, friend. That'll be Max Ketchum.
Max Ketchum, Doom, whatever you want to call me. Treat me like Prince, you know what I'm saying? You could either write it out or type the symbol. I wish I was like one fraction of any number as talented as Prince.
Yeah. What a guy, Prince.
I'm afraid he transcends most of us, but Vinnie and Will pretty close up there.
Definitely in competition when you're talking about skill. I mean, these guys have come a long way in this particular bracket and also have several accomplishments under their belt throughout their Smash careers. So it's exciting to see them play, both from the same region of Long Island.
You know what I'm really excited about is seeing Will play in a game where Donkey Kong is not a bad character.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so far he's been showing his stuff. He's got a great trapping game, and of course, Vinnie, one of the kings of reason resets and landing. Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people are just like, oh, you know, they discredit Vinnie because of his Ice Climbers play, but have you seen the man's Game & Watch?
Oh, man. He has taken games. I think, yo, Vinnie, have you taken a set from Music King with Game & Watch before? Like, did you win the set with Game & Watch ever against M2K?
I don't think he's won the full set, but
yeah,
he's taken multiple games.
Yeah, and he actually, at the end of Brawl, as of last weekend, at the end of Crossfire 4, had
as a positive
12
record.
and 10 against M2K, I believe.
Yeah,
or 12 and
like
11. That. Yeah, he's positive by a few. But anyway, they are now fighting each other, these Titans from Long Island, the last two players from their region that remain. Unfortunately, DeBuzz couldn't make it out. Surprised. But Vinnie with a very strong start. This Rob, man.
Look at the traps and the pressure.
Vinnie
not really leaving many options. And one thing you have to really note about his gameplay is that it's immaculate, all right? He doesn't have many extraneous motions. He doesn't waste time. He fills in the space exactly and then lands exactly in the position he needs to be to then follow up with his next attack. If you look at the fact that Donkey Kong has 130% already, it's because Vinnie has been constantly in motion putting damage on his opponent. For the 40 seconds, you know, not counting the Sonic SD, that this match has been going on, Vinnie has constantly been applying offensive pressure onto Donkey Kong, and it leaves his opponent hard-pressed to react. That's what makes him a top player.
Now Will finally managing to get something going upon respawning, but you see the reason that he plays a character like this is because Will is one of the most read-oriented players ever. He will condition you into doing something completely silly and just maximum reward off of it, and Donkey Kong allows him not only to fully benefit from that with the hard hits, but also go for more of those high-risk, high-reward plays with his massive weight.
I really like the pressure string that Vinnie was going for there. 2 down tilts on the back of the shield is virtually safe into jab strings because it means, okay, if you spot dodge, doesn't matter. He expected the spot dodge to come out after the down tilt pressure because he knew that his opponent would be anticipating a grab after he had time to react. So he even took into account his opponent's reaction time and then followed that up accordingly to know, okay, now that you're going to react, how will you react? And he just punishes appropriately. And as you can see, still, he just continues applying constant pressure. He's about to end this game right here, folks. And just as I say it, there you go. In less than 2 minutes, there goes 2 stocks.
That was almost utter destruction. Not quite utter, but still destruction on the part of Vinnie, who knows his opponent's playstyle quite well from the extensive amount of Brawl they've played together. And those sets traditionally going in Vinnie's favor almost every single time, even in mid-tiers.
Yeah.
Not just Ice Climbers versus DK, but also
Will's going to have to definitely take a step back, analyze a little bit of the opponent his option is using, and simplify the game right now. I think that's what he needs to do. When you have an opponent who is able to just get inside, and when you see your opponent is dominating you this securely, it doesn't necessarily mean, all right, that there's so much faster reaction time than you. Usually what it means is they have a game plan and they're going to execute it, and you're simply not prepared for their game plan. So the first step to overcoming an opponent like this is to figure out what their game plan is, and then from there you can start building a library of options to counter it. All right, and Vinnie definitely walked into that match with a game plan, and he executed. As I mentioned, he has over 1,000 games played on Rob already, and that's what happens when you have so much experience in the game is that you know the way things are going to play out. You simply come to the match with the game plan, execute, and it works. All right. If your opponent's not prepared, if they don't have a similar game plan of a of a comparable competitive tier, then they're simply not going to be able to keep up off the sheer merit of your preparation. All right, and Vinnie came into this set prepared. So the only way to maybe come back from this is to not just try and outplay him on the footsies or in the individual situations, but figure out his plan. And from there, once you at least understand your opponent's plan or how they're working, you'll be able to devise counters to that strategy.
And to go in with such a well-rehearsed plan is definitely the essence of Vinnie's power in this game.
Yeah.
And in Brawl as well. But Will did not even own the Japanese version of this game, whereas Vinnie got it at launch and has had much practice with this character, who he almost exclusively has played, if not completely exclusively.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, a couple hundred games on other characters, but it's mostly Rob all the way, folks, and he's showing what that level of dedication brings to the table.
Before he actually told me, he doesn't think he's played anybody but Rob.
Well, I mean, I've seen him with posts where he had many games on other characters. I mean, not many, but some games on other characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because last week it was literally, he said, yeah, I've only played Rob.
Yeah, maybe he just stopped playing other characters.
Yeah. Either way, man, just getting a really solid start. And Will, I mean, he plays a heavy character. He's Donkey Kong. 129 in a game like Smash 4 where characters survive typically very high.
Ooh.
He doesn't have to be that scared. And Vinnie, even though he's only at 77, does have something to worry about against Donkey Kong. Wow. Check that out. Already really on the verge of dying.
Now, one of the things you'll notice against a lot of top players, this is similar to Vex, similar to Vinnie, similar to Mewtwo in a lot of matches, and just across the board, Nairo, any top player you can think of, a very common strategy that they like to use, especially when they are unfamiliar with a given situation, or just using a basic strategy to feel out a situation, is that they'll simply use a lot of shield motion. All right, and this basic strategy is one of the top caliber strategies, even though it's very simple stuff, is they will shield and then react, or shield and then react to your reaction to their shield. So this is something you want to try out. And again, it's not about sitting in shield. It's about being in shield, moving, being in shield, moving. Basically, it's the bob and weaving strategy. It's blocking punches and dodging punches before you try and throw out too many of your own punches and throwing punches in between. Almost kind of like a little boxing match, all right?
Pierce with a very apt comparison. Continue.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that's an extremely good comparison. Also, it just teaches you a lot about the Yomi, the advanced level rock, paper, scissors. To quote the card game Yomi, that's where that comes from. I mean, just learning how your opponents are going to react to what you're doing and picking shield as the safest option to just run in, block. You see, I mean, Vinnie does that a lot. Like, that is definitely in his arsenal. And, wow, neutral air to up tilt. And, wow, Vinnie bringing this back. 34 damage only, though. It looks like Rob's strikes don't do too much in this game. He did a lot of damage in Brawl.
Yeah. You'll notice here, Vinnie's he only shields when there's the potential for him to get hit. Right now, he shields because Donkey Kong is up being to the edge. You see his shield flash for a second. Just in case DK's up B doesn't get to the edge, he flashes shield. Just in case right there, DK did a wake-up attack, he shields. As soon as the threat is passed, his shield is down. All right, so that he can get into action. But nice read by Will.
Shield down.
As you can see there, Will adapting. He figured out Vinnie's game plan. He modified his strategy. He says, okay, Vinnie is not going to hover in shield. He was able to pick up on that. He says, okay, he's going to bob and weave. And the next step from that is saying, okay, where's my opponent going to weave to? Which way are they going to dodge? When are they going to stop blocking? This is where I strike. And then Will was able to get in there, get that read. He says, okay, Vinnie's not going to sit here and shield. So even though I visualized that he's shielding right at this particular moment, I'm still going to throw out this side B anyway because Vinnie is a very mobile player. He's not a very static player. He's not going to stay in one place. He's going to be dynamic. He's going to keep moving. So if I see him shielding now, that means he's going to shield only very briefly till he perceives the threat is passed, and that's when I strike. And Will was able to get that side B and then clap him with the up smash to take game 2 and bring us to a game 3. Very good by Will to bring that back.
We have an even set here, folks, and I really have to say that a lot of players will just shield on reaction or hold shield when they're scared, but Vinnie is very much a guy who moves in like a sequence of 2 or more items, and it'll be run, shield, attack, or something, as we were just pretty much highlighting as a typical top player strategy. Vinnie definitely does that. He has kind of, not to say a pattern, because he mixes it up on the fly like
It is a pattern, though. It is a pattern.
Is.
And that's what it truly – when we say have a library of mix-ups, okay, it's a little bit deeper than deciding, okay, sometimes I'm going to jab and sometimes I'm going to F-tilt.
Right.
It's not quite that simple. It's okay. It's a string. It's a series of motion. You should never think of your motions in Smash as individual moves because – there are too many options to be able to individually select to do at every single independent time. The reason that top players all seem so much faster than you is because they cluster their moves into useful group sequences. All right? Something like run forward, shield, block, anticipated attack, and then jab is a group sequence that they've already had queued up in their minds. And it's true they adapt on the fly, but what gives them the advantage is because when you have these group sequences and you have the good reaction time to allow you to adapt, these things allow you to really then outpace opponents that aren't prepared to play at the same level of speed as you.
And that is a hallmark of Vinnie's play in this set so far. Even though he's taken quite a beating from Will already, you just see once he gets his hands on him, you just see like 9 moves come out, and they're either covering options or just hitting. And there goes Will's first stock off the left side with the back air.
Oh, really good read by Will. He saw that Vinnie was going to get in the habit of not really doing ledge hop aerials. He was really going to most commonly do a wake up, just a standard wake up or a roll off the edge. Gets the read on the roll, lands that full down smash. We're looking for a footstool there. Doesn't quite get it because Rob was in his up B, which means he will not go into the tumble animation from a footstool.
I think if Will really wanted to go for a high-risk, high-reward option, he could have swung Donkey Kong's down air there. It comes out so much faster in this game. Absolutely vicious move, and he kind of forfeited an edge guard opportunity. It was looking like it could have hit, but he's back on the stage, fading away.
Nice. Really good for Vinnie there. He knows that he was in neutral. That's another thing that, again, you want to keep an eye out for. Correctly assessing the situation you're in. Because even though Donkey Kong had landed a hit, there was no possible follow-up for Donkey Kong to that hit. So instead of blocking, he instantly puts the gyro out. Once you're in neutral, he immediately goes to developing the board further. He immediately throws the gyro out, and of course that means Will was not able to get a follow-up, and Vinnie was the one who landed a hit. Of course, Donkey Kong did take off the stock there, but in the moment just prior, he was able to land the hit and escape the string. Recognizing when you're in neutral and when you're in advantage is so very important to making sure that you make the correct options and you pick the correct choices from your library.
Vinnie has just stayed in such an advantageous position ever since just getting one roll bait on Will. He has kept him at bay completely and not even getting consecutive reads, but just playing so safely and picking things that locked off Will's options. There we go, a down smash, but still living at 170. And
nice.
Not living that.
I'm not sure if Will meant to not grab the edge there. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to just go onto stage with that up B. Small amount of miscalculation, but those mistakes will surely count when you're playing against a strong opponent. Good punish there by Vinnie to close out the set. That was an absolutely fantastic set.
Yeah, that was beautiful, especially seeing Will run that back last game. And, I mean, the up tilt, man, that first stock that Will got with up tilt in the third game, absolutely destructive.